Hi, everybody. I am Quoy here from Array of Gratitude, bringing you a creative message. I think I'm going to might start talking about this as, maybe this is a chat and create with Quoy. I don't know. But basically, I am creating, I'm chatting, and I want to tell y'all all about my new workshops that I have from me, from Array of Gratitude to you, to really help and connect with your creative soul, to really tune in and really just tap into that authentic self. Are you ready? Let's get into it. So this is an example. I just got done with a class, a workshop, a session, as I like to call it, my Creative Soul sessions, where we get to really tap in and tune in. Creative souls are people that find ways to use their creative energy as a self-expression for their well-being. So if anyone is, that doesn't stand like hold this is the box, but if you're feeling the vibe, you already know, right? I'm my mission here, if I were to say I'm a creative rebel with a cause, my cause is not to show off my creativity like a lot of us tend to do. And there's nothing wrong with it, but it's more about finding wellness within your creativity. Because I really want people to know everyone is creative. And everybody's creativity, their own unique signature, is totally different from other people. It may look similar, There is an ex Basquiat, there is an ex Picasso, whatever the heck, Rembrandt, whatever you want to call it, right? But there's always a little spin to it. So I have these workshops where I help you find your creative soul and help you tune in and really catch the vibe, really catch the flow. And these are some activities how you can do it. We work on some activities to open that flow, and then we create a affirmation. And this is what I came up with. This is the first one I did. I am free to create my own happiness, because all of us, if you really believe this, please tap that like button and comment below. We are all powerful beings, and our creativity shows our power, and it's used to empower other people, not overpower, empower. And here, this is another one, another vibe is I trust myself. And that's what I was speaking about in the workshop today. And I wanted to just jump on here to really just chat with you as I doodle and do my own thing, all right? Embrace my authentic self. So, let's talk about trusting ourselves, right? I trust myself. What are some ways that you really trust yourself? Actually, let's start with what the most common. Can you remember, or can you become aware of ways that you didn't trust yourself? Like for me, making decisions, right? I've came across making some really hard decisions in my life. I can remember one that I'm not going to speak about when I was younger, but like it seemed like, thinking about that moment, right? It seemed like a lot of times I couldn't find ways to trust myself because I felt like I was beating myself up from a repeated loop, maybe from childhood, that I felt really bad about myself. Or possibly, if I can remember, when an adult shamed me about something that in their eyes was really bad. It made me feel really bad. But when I look back in hindsight, it was not the end of the world, and it really was not that bad. They just didn't know how to handle who the heck I was. You know what I mean? Sometimes, when you can be so aware of your soul, you start to understand it's really not about what's right or wrong, good and bad. It's about what is best fitting for your highest good, because going back to trusting yourself, if we all knew what our main purpose here was in the first place, as an individual, we would trust ourselves more, because we'd be like, okay, I wholeheartedly trust and know this is my mission here, in this time frame, to do XYZ, and I'm gonna live it to the fullest, right? And sometimes we can all just be like, I'm here to uplift people. I'm here to help people. I'm here to help my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are some things that are somewhat, I'll say somewhat, given to people, because it's like, okay, yeah, of course, why wouldn't I want to do that, right? But to some people, it may not. Some people don't really have family or a sense of knowing what family is. And that still goes back to trusting yourself, because where's your foundation built on? Our foundation is built off of our caretakers, and some of our caretakers, honestly, just was hurting people because they were hurt, and they're just repeating a pattern, repeating an emotion, repeating a behavior that they have not quite learned or outgrew. And unfortunately, being a child, you can't really understand certain things, but as an adult, you can understand more things. You really can. But it's why I say it's your responsibility is your responsibility to break out and understand yourself more. Because when you wake up, go to school for at least 13 years of your life doing something that's very repetitive, you're going to feel like that. Everybody's personality is different. I mean, some people are just natural born leaders. But then again, there's different types of leaders, Sometimes there's leaders that only have to just say a few things. Sometimes there's leaders that don't say a daggone thing and just do. And from the energy that they just give off, people just be like, oh, who are you? What are you doing? Type of thing. You know what I mean? There's many type of leaders. Sometimes you're just the leader of your family, right? Your bloodline. And sometimes you are a leader of a nation. And when you have that leadership within your essence, I'll say, you found a purpose for you. You found confidence in you. Confidence is more about not caring what other people say, but knowing and caring enough to be courageous to do what's best for you. Like I was going back to saying how it's not always about what's good and bad. It's what's best for you and your path. Everybody has a path. And this is where creativity comes into play. Especially when you find the wellness within creativity. When you find alignment with your mind and your heart. And when you can trust yourself, that's the alignment. You trust yourself to create something new. You trust yourself to know how to make yourself happy. You trust yourself to know that, hey, I have bad days, but I know I'm going to get over it. You know what I mean? You trust yourself enough to speak up. You trust yourself because you know yourself enough of where you are at in the present moment. And that is also what creativity helps you with. Being in the present moment, hearing your thoughts, and making sense of them instead of feeling jarring because there's some type of anxiety or like just really heavy emotions that you haven't quite processed yet. Sometimes those emotions pop up like, oh, hey, remember what happened last year? and it really like tore your heart into like pieces, boo. Yeah, I'm back. What you going to do about it? And then a part of your mind's like, oh, not right now. You keep pressing it, it's going to be like, "Bleh, I told you," type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And you can call that your inner child. You can call it, your subconscious. You could call it numerous things. But the fact of the matter is that it's another type of energy that is floating around in your brain, in your mind, in your unconscious or subconscious, and really needs you to be aware of that so you can make it conscious. And just like creativity, we all have a process. And that's what I walk you through in the workshops, because this is a whole process of creating a affirmation. Sometimes people are like, affirmations, what is that? Like, oh, those things don't work. But it's because you don't really believe it. You're not putting that much energy into it, and you're not taking the time or being open enough to receive. When you say affirmations and you really believe the power of affirmations, they do wonders. And you allow grace to come in and receive those blessings. But, if it's not for you, then you're not really truly believing that. And it could be because you have other things going on in your life, or it could just be because it's just not for you. But you have to find that, and you have to trust yourself enough to want that. Trust yourself enough to find that passion, that drive inside of you, that fire that burns within you. If you've never felt that before, it's okay. Nothing's wrong with you. Going back to good and wrong and bad and good, all that, right? Nothing's wrong with you, but there's something in you that I'll say, quote unquote, should find, because it will benefit you, hands down, because that's good vibes. That is good vibes. Good vibes are always felt, no matter if you are someone that feels weird, someone that feels awkward, someone that feels bad even, Good vibes are always felt, just like bad vibes are always felt. And me going back to good and bad, right and wrong, that is something that, is just a title, is a label to make you aware of a certain vibe. But the reality is you have control over the vibe, and you have the brain power, you have the decision, you have the discernment and the wisdom to say, okay, I don't resonate with this being bad anymore. Even if 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people resonate with this being bad, you don't have to. You really don't. Because to get on a deeper note, that's you connecting with your soul and allowing your soul to be felt, and allowing that path to open so you can find your unique pathway, your unique mission, your unique purpose. And that is what the workshops really are about. I'm creating a vibe so you can really take away from that vibe, and take away from a few tools that I give you that can help you relax, help you hear that inner voice that everyone has, which most call your intuition, and guide you and make you feel worthy of trusting yourself and moving forward and walking to your own beat of your own drum. I love to do this. I feel that everybody deserves to know, deserves to understand, deserves to be aware of your soul, your spirit. Figure out and feel your own essence, and just know, hey, I have the power to create. Whether it's something visual like we do create, because, visual is that's natural. You know, like we have eyes to see. And if you're lucky, you see the beautiful colors. Some may not see that, but some, it's always felt. And again, trusting, that's a feeling, that's a knowing. So if you are feeling the vibe, I'd love for you to subscribe. I'd love for you to check it out in my links that are below. And see what it's about. You know, I have a beginner's session that I like to do that is pretty much, I want to say it's an appetizer of these courses that I'm going to be putting out very soon, that are the full meal. And the difference is a longer meditation, and it's also a different type of creativity that we'll be making. And we may rotate a few different types of tools that I like to use to just really help you relax and get focused. And it's also motivation. That's what I do. I'm the creative coach. I bring that light. I shine that light on people and inspire people to do better, to know better, and to feel better. And I just would love to give that to you. So if you are feeling the vibe, please share with somebody that may pop in your mind that feels that they may need this. Comment below. Let me know how you're feeling. Tell me if it resonates with you, as well as like that button. Every time you like my videos, you infuse your energy into this, and each video, every time you come back, is going to feel like more of a greater resonance. I have a couple of things because I'm just an eclectic person. I love to show my creativity in many forms. It's not always visual, but that is something that I grew up with. That is something that I admire to do. And that's something that I feel good with, but it doesn't always have to be your resonance neither. So I create this space for you to catch that inspiration and really put your own signature onto whatever your creativity is really feeling for you to express. If you are loving these messages and looking for other videos like so, subscribe and check me out next time. Until then, I am outie. Peace.